Hello friends, in this video we'll create our first API, that is student register. Back to editor, let's open student controller class. So needs to go inside app, http controllers API and student controller class. So to work with register API, we need to work over this method called register. We hit this method using post request type and also will pass form data. Inside this form data, we have all those values what we need to create a student. So we can access these values using this request object. So what are the steps we need to follow here? First, after getting data, first we'll add validation. After validation, we need to create an instance of model class, or we can use model directly. So here we'll have the concept of student model, and finally we'll prepare our response. So let's start with validation. Let's go inside our database first, click on students table, go to structure. So we can see that to create a student for this table, we need values for name, email, password and phone number. All these fields are required because they are not containing any null value. Let's go here. So here, request, I will use validate method, and inside this validate method, let's pass an array. I will add the column names name, email, password and phone number. And as we know that these all fields are required, so we will add our first validation rule that is required. So let's copy this rule and place in front of all these fields. Now let's add two more validation rules for this email field, and that is the second one, that is should be a valid email address. It means what the value we are passing for this email field should be a valid email. So email, and also we want that once any email registered inside our table, so email should be a unique value. Each user should have a unique email address. So unique : students. It means the email address should be unique throughout this students table. So successfully, these are all the validations. Now next, I need to use the concept of student model. In the previous phase of API development, we had seen the concept of object. It means we had created model object. By the help of that object, we accessed insert method, update method, delete method and select methods. But also we can call all those methods directly using model concept. So here I will call model directly. So let's say student, and I will call create method. Inside this create method, I will pass an array. We need to pass all the columns where we need values. So name, email, password and phone number. To get name value, we need to use request object, arrow operator and the name value. This name value is coming from our request. It means form data. For email field, request, email. For password, request object and password. And one more thing, instead of saving plain text value for this password field, I will save a hashed value. So let's cut that, and I will use hash facade, and I will call make method, and I will pass that value. So automatically this plain text value now converted into a hashed value format. Let's go for this phone number and paste for this phone number. So successfully, now we have created all the data which needs to create a student. Let's go for our response here. So return response, JSON method, pass an array here, status equals to true, and message, let's say student created successfully. So this is all about the concept of student register API. Let's do a quick unit testing. So I will go and start development server, PHP artisan serve, press enter, development server started. So I will copy project URL, copy link, back to Postman, pass URL here, select post request type, after that /API and register. Needs to go inside headers. We need to pass our first header, that is accept application JSON. Go inside body, select form data, and if you're not passing any value, click on send button. Now we can see that this is all about our form validation error messages. Now let's go inside form data. The first value we need, that is name. This is the student name, email, next we need values for password from 1 to 6, and finally we need phone number. So let's pass a dummy value. So successfully, as you can see that we are passing a valid data set with a student. Click on send button. So successfully we have created a student. Let's go to our table, click on browse here. Now we can see that inside our students table we have our first entry with this name, email value, and now we can see that inside this password field we are getting a hashed value, and this is our phone number. Back to Postman. Let's create one more student here. Password is from 1 to 6. Mobile number is something a dummy value. Click on send button. Student created. Back to table. Click on browse. Now we have one more student. So this is all about the concept of student register API. Now let's see a concept that is very interesting inside form validation. I will go inside editor. So in front of password, as we can see here, we have rule called required. After that I will add one more rule, that is pipe, and let's say confirmed. If I save this change, back to Postman, I am passing all the data. Click on send button. Now we can see that here we have some errors, and the first error is that the email has already been taken. It means the unique rule, unique property, unique validation for this email address. So let's pass something different, that is sunil.1. This is something different email address. So after passing all these details, click on send button. Now we can see another error message, that the password field confirmation does not match. It means it is asking for a field where the password field value is not matching with the confirmation field. So what we can do here, so once we add this confirmed field, confirm validation rule in front of password, it means we need to add one more field here, and that is password confirmation. And in that field we need to pass the same value what we have inside this password field. So let's pass here password underscore confirmation. Password underscore confirmation. Once we add this key, needs to pass, let's say, the same value. If we pass something different from 1 to 5 which does not match with this password field, click on send button. Again we have the same error message, but once we pass the same value, click on send button. Now we can see student created. Back to table, click on browse. Here we have the third value. Let's delete that. So this is all about a very interesting concept of this confirm validation rule. If we add in front of password field, it means that we need to add one more field, that is password underscore confirmation, and inside that field we have the same value, what value of this password field. So successfully guys, we have created our first API, that is student register. In the next video we'll see some more different concept about these APIs. So for this video session guys, thank you for watching and have a great day.